Historically speaking, when I imagine a strong character in a fighting game franchise, I think of one of my favorite characters, Chun-Li. I've been playing her in pretty much every mainline Street Fighter, so when I question which version was her strongest, a few come to mind. Would it be Street Fighter V Season 1, where her instant air Houyokusen was advantageous on block and led to big damage? Street Fighter 6 Season 1, where her neutral was incredibly solid? Or Street Fighter 2X/Turbo, where walking forward and pressing medium punch carried a scrub like me to unimaginable heights? All incredibly valid, but the iteration that sticks out to me the most is from Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. I bet even if you haven't played the game, you probably heard how busted she is. So in this video, I'll be explaining what makes this character strong and why she is considered to be one of the best characters in the game. Let's start off by looking at her prevalent normals. Standing Heavy Punch. Goes a full character length and a half and hits the opponent for massive damage. Has a stupidly fast startup of 8 frames and can kill a standing Goki in 9 strikes. You want to know crouching? 7 hits. For people not aware, crouching characters takes an additional 25% damage in this game. When I was first starting off, there would be times I'd win against other intermediate players by just throwing out this button. Crouching Heavy Kick. For 7 frame sweep that knocks down enemies. The Japanese players call this the Gen Kick. You see the similarities? This is a fast move that hits mid and can be parried both ways. Wait, it's not a low? Why is this good? Oh, this isn't for grounded footsies. Her upper leg has a disjointed hitbox, so it's a solid anti-air. Hilariously good against moves like Dudley's jump-ins. Crouching Medium Punch. Coined the Neko Punch. That's cat punch in English. 8 frame low that goes very far. Great poke that can force people to crouch block or fish for parries from quite a distance. This works well with Crouching Medium Kick where... Actually, we'll save this for later. Let's move on to special moves. Don't worry, I need to explain other things first before people can truly appreciate the egregious normals. Houyokusen. A slow projectile that's pretty much never used in neutral. Why? Because parries nullifies them. Unless they're fast or has set of properties, projectiles are not very good in this game. Hazanshu. A slow overhead that can be punished heavily by reaction parries. There's almost no use for this move outside of throw and parry baits. And even if it hits, you don't get a knockdown besides the EX version. Who the heck is going to get hit by this? It's awful. Spinning Bird Kick. Chun-Li's classic down charge move. Light and medium versions can be used for combos, and the heavy version is usually never used. Unlike the newer games, it doesn't hit crouching opponents, and you don't get a knockdown with any strength except EX. EX version can be used as a poor man's invincible reversal, as it has invincibility for the first 8 frames, but takes 12 frames for the hitbox to come out. Yeah, you can interrupt it. Well, at least it hits crouching opponents. Lastly, Hyakuretsugaku. This one is actually decent. Her normal strengths don't knock down and they don't do much damage, but it pushes the opponent away regardless of hit or block. Which is really nice considering how good her long range normals are. And if the opponent parries, most characters will have to do it twice for stronger versions if they want to retaliate with a non-invisible attack. The EX version does knock down and blasts the opponent to almost full screen length. So far, it doesn't sound very impressive, does it? And you're right, but it's her Super R2 Houyokusen that defines this character. I'm assuming most of you have seen this super in the world famous Evo moment where Daigo parries Justin 1. Yup, that's the one. This is a projectile invincible, almost full screen lunging attack that combos for massive damage. In fact, it does so much that if you play low health, low stun characters like Goki, it can potentially die off of 2 interactions because for some ridiculous reason, you can stock 2 of these. What insane damage potential. Not only that, this move comes out in only 3 frames, so it's a very potent whiff punishing move. I am someone with fairly low reaction speed, but even I was able to consistently whiff punish attacks like Ken's crouching medium kick. As for why Justin did this in neutral was because he wanted to trip out Daigo. Since this attack hits a whopping 17 times, it's an incredibly good chip kill move. But why would he do this if people can parry? Well, normal grounded parries have a 10 frame window when a direction is tapped, or 6 frame when held down. However, this changes to 2 frames if you decided to input parry after the super flash. So it's either go for a realistic 6 frame prediction before Houyokusen input, or time that parry in an incredibly small window while the screen goes black. Either way, it's not very easy. I can't blame Justin for making this decision. I personally would have as well. Now's a good time to go back and talk about the other normals. Crouching medium kick, nicknamed the shibakari in Japanese, translates to lawn mowing because her kick spins like a grass cutting blade. This is a 6 frame low that has incredibly fast retracting hurtbox. Let's compare this to Ken's crouching medium kick. This kick has the same startup, has longer active frames, but recovers 6 frames slower, so it's a lot easier to hit. Not only that, Chun-Li's crouching medium kick has a whopping 18 frames to cancel into Houyokusen, so she can easily confirm hit or block. Does any other character have this kind of window on their cancelable normals? Nope. Although she does have a weird 2 frame window in between that can't be cancelled. I suspect this is why you sometimes don't see super cancels in high level matches. Ken's on the other hand, 13 frames. You need to have some inhumane reaction times while looking at health bars to hit confirm this one. I certainly cannot do it. Alright then, if it's a really potent low, you should go for a low parry, right? Yes, but you have to always keep in mind her other cancelable normal, hakke, or back heavy punch. This 7 frame mid attack not only has a 9 frame active disjointed hitbox, it also counters any low parry attempts. Additionally, it has a respectable 15 frame cancel window, so you can hit confirm into Houyokusen if you're quick enough. Wait, what was that? You want another really high damage normal that can be cancelled into Houyokusen? Here's close heavy kick, a 4 frame normal that can be super jump cancelled. Why? Who knows? And surprise surprise, this one is also hit confirmable. Even if you input the jump while the opponent is blocking, you can simply jump away while option selecting parry for anti-airs. Or, if you're near the corner, jump forward for a wall jump. Unlike Street Fighter 6, it's quite good. Look how fast it is and how far it goes. The wild part is, you can jump even if you're mid-attack. Miss an air-to-air? No problem. Also, this provides a good way to get out of the corner against things like Urian's Aegis Shield. Whee! By the way, she has yet another great attack that she can combo into Houyokusen. Her standing far heavy kick. This one is much slower at 12 frames, but she does this little hop before the attack comes out. You know what this means? It's a low crusher. Are the Shotos trying to whiff punish her attacks with crouching medium kicks? Make them think twice, as not only does this avoid lows, it links into Houyokusen if the opponent is crouching. As a side note, she has a commando version of this attack with forward heavy kick, which gives an extra forward movement. Gosh, it's so scary pressing buttons against Chun-Li. Maybe one should block in certain situations to avoid risks. Her overheads are all fairly slow, so maybe they can look for those and hope the pushback on the block will reset neutral. Well, that wouldn't be a bad strategy if she didn't have this thing called Kara Throw. Kara Throws are the act of cancelling the startup of a move with a throw. This can give things like throw invisibility or extra forward movement. In case of Chun-Li, she can use far standing medium kick to shift forward to grab her opponent. Look how far it goes. It's a teleport at this point. This insane range will add another mental stack in close range pressure. You know, earlier, when I was talking about most characters cannot interrupt Chun-Li's heavy or EX Sakuretsugaku with a non-invincible attack after parrying the first hit? That's because there's only a 2 frame gap between the first and second strike. And most characters do not have a 2 frame attack. But, you know, Chun-Li being Chun-Li, she has a 2 frame crouching light punch. That's also cancelled. You know where this is going. Houyokusen combo. The strong thing about this is that if you don't have a 2 frame normal, you're required to parry multiple hits, or wait a bit before retaliating certain strings. For example, let's say you're a Ken player who parried Dudley's overhead. You go for a punish, but then get interrupted by the follow-up target combo. Shucks. This is what happens when you don't have a 2-frame normal and are impatient. However, if this was Chun-Li parrying the overhead, she can simply go into crouching light punch for a guaranteed punish. No waiting, no guessing, just a simple punish. Alright, now that we talked about the myriad of ways to combo into Houyokusen, let's talk about what she can do after hitting the super. The last hit launches and you can go into the air for a juggle. The interesting part about this is that you can do certain attacks to make them flip in the air instead of getting a knockdown. In some of these, Chun-Li can land way before their opponent. Let's say Chun-Li is cornered, but she successfully lands a crouching medium kick into her super. She launches the opponent into the air, then taps them with an aerial light kick. She then falls downwards and walks forward. If timed correctly, she can cross up the opponent. If she decides to delay her movement, she can stay on the same side. So this is a left-right mix-up. From here, she can do things like cancelable normal to another super, kyakuretsu kyaku, or throw. The world is her oyster. What happens if she does this in the corner where she has no way to move under her opponent? Well, she can now do a high-low mix-up. There's a universal mechanic in this game called leap attack where you do a short hop overhead. In normal situations, this does very little damage and does not lead to any combos. But in this case, she can do it meaty so that it combos into her crouching medium kick. And if you have another bar, that's another Houyokusen. The rough part about this is that the camera is following the character in the air, so it's very hard to see the startup of the leap attack. You can always guess high, but the Chun-Li player can simply go for a crouching medium kick if they think you're going to parry or block high. It's a terrible situation for the defender to be in. And there you have it, the character that has insanely strong neutral accelerated by her godlike super art. In my opinion, she's one of the 2 strongest characters in the game. But the thing is, unlike the other one, she's incredibly simple and easy to use. Here's a comment from an interview of Nuki, a very well-known Chun-Li player from Japan. When he started Third Strike, it took only 2 weeks to beat majority of the best players at the arcade he frequented. This includes players like Daigo and KSK, a lot of them who have been playing and training for a year. At that moment, he realized that if he wanted to keep friends, he should never train or lab too hard with Chun-Li. And this is a guy who won 3 EVO titles in the game. Wild. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this, make sure to check out my previous episode where I talk about how busted Ino is from Guilty Gear Xrd. And consider subscribing to this channel and supporting me on Patreon. I'll probably make more of these in the future. Alright, until next time, have fun with fighting games.